Welcome back to another episode of the FMV Archive. Today we are diving deep into the 1996 released game, The Ripper. Yes, this is a classic game. It is 30 years old this year, and it stars Christopher Walken. And guess what the theme song is for it? Blue Oyster Cult. Don't Fear the Reaper. You cannot name Christopher Walken and Don't Fear the Reaper without referencing the classic SNL skit. Here you go.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Had to do that. Long before Take-Two Interactive was making games like Grand Theft Auto, Diablo, and Max Payne, they were doing this. This is kind of what they got started with. This was their first big game. It was a $4 million budget, with $1 million of that going to the acting alone. When we get to the acting portion of this, you're going to see why. We're going to jump right into our 10-point system and find out if this is a game that you should be finding. You can find a physical copy of this. You can also download it for free in plenty of abandonware sites. I got this one on Zom's Lair. It's the tender tale of Jack Quinlan. He's a reporter covering these Ripper murders, where these people are being kind of murdered similar to Jack the Ripper. Their insides being ripped out, torn apart. Well, his girlfriend is also his assistant, who is also working on this case. And one day she gets knocked out by the Ripper, and her consciousness is now put into cyberspace. This is 1996, people. She is out cold, and there is a little bit of an odd doctor working on her. Is she actually trying to help your girlfriend recover from this, or is she keeping her in this coma? The main detective working on this, Christopher Walken's character, is he actually trying to solve this case? Maybe he's the Ripper? The weird ex-husband of the doctor who may not be helping you. He's a cyberspace guy, man. He is totally living in VR, baby. He is a little bit weird, and you know what? He likes to collect knives. That makes him a suspect. There are a whole bunch of red herrings on this one. You will dive deep into the internet, the interwebs, cyberspace. This game's huge. It's going to take you a minimum of about 6 hours to do, up to 10, because the puzzles are really hard. But the story is great. I would give it a 10 overall. Going next to number 2, the gameplay. What do you actually do in this game? It's an interactive film for the most part. You are asking questions. It's almost like detective work. A lot of point and click when you enter rooms, a lot of looking for clues, a lot of puzzle solving. And my God, this is where the game really rubs some people the wrong way, because these puzzles are ridiculously difficult, some of them. And a lot of them are completely nonsensical. We'll give you a little clip of something in the background here. You have to put all of these chips in this exact essential order on this circuit board right here. You get a manual that explains what each serial number chip does, and then you have to figure out how those chips coincide with the board that you're working with. Maddening. Even with a cheat guide for it, it's going to take you 10-20 minutes just because you have to read every single serial number on those. Not a fun puzzle. Some of the puzzles are fun. There's this one puzzle with a ball that you kind of have to get through a maze, and you have to hit switches for it to go down the correct path. I really like that one. There's a couple of math ones that are fun, but a lot of these are just brutal. The other minor thing that detracts from the gameplay on this is walking around. You will see a little clip behind me here of just getting through a room is difficult because you just don't click over there in the corner and go there. You have to take a very odd path to get there, and it just takes time. Story's super intriguing, but the gameplay can kind of take away at times and slow it down. I would give it a 5 overall for the gameplay. Number 3, looking graphics. Take-Two Interactive did this. They've done a lot of great games. They kind of starting out with this one. Huge budget, like I said, $4 million, and it looks fantastic. All the full motion video scenes are really good. The backgrounds are really well thought of. Looks gritty. Looks like a gritty New York City in the year 2040. The cyberspace scenes are really cool. It's a flashback to what people thought the internet was going to look like and what they thought VR was going to look like. Whole bunch of polygons on this one, whole bunch of neon. I love the look and the graphics on this. All the things work very easily. It's very easy to navigate. Easily a 10 overall for looking graphics. Number 4, the dialogue. It's well scripted. It's well paced. All the conversations that you have with people when you're asking them questions, they're not very drawn out. You're not getting information that you really don't need. Everything is kind of important to the story, which is important because this is a long game, so you don't want things to drag on if they don't have to. It's snappy. It's a little film noir-ish at times because you're this kind of hard-boiled detective type, even though you're a journalist. Sometimes it can get a little bit campy. I don't think that belongs here, but it's very rare. I would give the dialogue a 9 overall. Since this is a linear game, we're going to skip over the consequences of your decisions and go over controls and game logic instead. I talked a little bit about in the gameplay, the controls are sometimes very laborious, hard to move around. The puzzles do work very well, although some of them are mind-bendingly hard. Everything functions how it should function, and it's not difficult to move around when you're in those puzzle environments. But the logic regarding these puzzles is absolutely bizarre. At some points, you get a really long number, and you have to figure out that, oh, the X in there isn't a serial number, it's actually a multiplication sign, and I need to multiply that number. Then I need to go to the old-timey register that's up in the bedroom and get little balls to go into the register to click keys to give it a price that matches up with that multiplication number from the plaque that I saw on the stairs downstairs. That's just frustrating. Some good things, some bad things. Overall, we'll give it a 5 for controls and game logic. Acting, whoa boy, this has got a ton of people on here. I'm going to try to go through it very quickly and say who is in here because they are all awesome in it. Christopher Walken is 10 years removed from an Oscar win in The Deer Hunter. He is in this game. Burgess Meredith, the cranky old guy. He is Mickey in the Rocky movies. Won tons of awards for his acting. Scott Cohen, still acting today, 126 credits to his name. He is Quinlan. He's the main character. Very good. John Rhys Davis is in this. You may recognize him as Gimli in Lord of the Rings. He is also in Wing Commander. Karen Allen, she's in this tiny movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark. You may have heard of that one. She is actually really good in this. I think she may be the best person in this. Gives a really great performance. And in the background, yes, that is a young Paul Giamatti is in this game. Loaded with acting talent. They spent $1 million on the budget just for the acting. Acting is amazing, 10 out of 10. Number 7, direction and cinematography. Phil Parmet does the cinematography and the direction on this one. He is usually a behind-the-camera type of guy doing the camera work. He did Grindhouse. He did the Halloween with Rob Zombie. He was the camera guy on that. A lot of Tarantino stuff. Did 4 Rooms. He was the camera guy on this one. Super talented guy. Also did Lodestar for the Sega CD. We may have to play that someday. He's really good. The shots are well thought out. There's not a bunch of movement in this game in terms of action, but the camera is always moving around. You're always getting different angles. You're getting different shots of conversations. It's done absolutely spectacular for this game. Phil does a great job, knocks it out of the park, 10 out of 10 for direction and cinematography. Number 8, the music and the sound design. When you get Blue Oyster Cult, that did not come cheaply, and that's just in the title sequence right there. So they went all out for that. The music in-game is pretty darn good. The sound design for this is excellent. This is really good. You definitely have pros working on this. It sounds great. Music and sound design, I don't think you can get any better than this, really, especially in 1996. It's easily a 10. Number 9, inventiveness. A movie-sized budget for an FMV game? That didn't happen too much in 1996. $1 million spent on the acting budget. That might be the most in a video game ever up until this point. Multiple endings. There are 4 different endings on this one for 4 different people that actually commit the murders. That's different. Didn't get too much of this in 1996. Not that it didn't exist, but having 4 of them is quite a bit. Combine that music, the acting, all the talent that they put in this, all the money that they spent on this, that makes it pretty inventive. I'd give it an 8 overall for inventiveness just because of the way they went about their job. Our last but yet most important category, fun. How much fun did I have playing this game? I enjoy puzzles. I enjoy Seventh Guest. I enjoy 11th Hour. I think those games are a lot of fun. They're super challenging. I like a challenge in my video games. These puzzles are not easy. I think that was fun. For some people, that might absolutely turn them off from this game, but I absolutely loved it. The story's good. The story's compelling, and there's kind of a twist in there, and it makes it even more interesting. Trip down nostalgia lane with all the stuff in here. I had an 8 overall for fun. I enjoyed it. That brings us to a final score of an 85. But is this a game that you should be seeking out? Our final verdict is not for everyone. If you like the adventure game where you're solving puzzles and you're doing things that are ridiculously hard, and you're going to need a pen and paper, and you're going to need to read stuff and pay attention, and you want a long experience, this is probably about 8 to 10 hours if you play it with no cheat codes and just go through it. It is a lot of fun. If that is not your thing, if you want an interactive film where you're just clicking text and moving to the next scene, this will not be for you because you're going to get stuck in a lot of places. Now, the one thing that is good about it, there are cheat codes for almost all the puzzles in here. So you can type in something and just skip right through it. So if the puzzles aren't your thing, there is an out for that. What there is not an out for is not hitting like and not hitting subscribe to this. We do nothing but FMV stuff. If there's a game we missed that you think we should be doing, please drop it in the comments. Otherwise, thank you and have a wonderful day.